Have you ever been in that really unsettling situation, maybe with an older parent or grandparent, where they just suddenly lose their balance?
Oh, yeah.
And even what looks like a minor slip, it can end up causing really quite devastating injuries. And the
Mm.
pressure on caregivers afterwards is just huge.
It is. It's surprisingly common, too, something we often don't, fully appreciate until it happens close to home.
Right.
And one of the most critical things to understand is how much a single fall can impact an older person's life.
Yeah.
It's really profound.
It's not just the break, is it?
No, not just the immediate injury. Studies show that a significant number of seniors, especially, within that first year after a bad fall,
Mm.
they face really serious complications, things like pneumonia or bed sores, just from being immobile for so long.
Wow.
And tragically, the mortality rate, it's alarmingly high.
And that's really why we're doing this today. Our mission in this deep dive is to, well, to equip you with the knowledge, the practical strategies you need for fall prevention. Think of it like a shortcut, maybe,
Yeah.
to understanding the why behind these falls, but also the how. How you can actually help keep elderly loved ones safer and, crucially, help them hold on to their independence.
Exactly. And we want to go a bit beyond just the common sense stuff. We'll dig into both those internal physical factors,
Yeah.
the changes that happen with age that maybe aren't so obvious,
Right.
and also those external hazards, the things lurking in the environment, sometimes right in our own homes that we might overlook.
And hopefully you're going to discover some maybe surprisingly simple, pretty affordable tools, actually, and some specific exercises that can make a huge difference.
Mm,
We do also need to touch on the serious side, the sometimes fatal consequences, because, well, understanding that really drives home why prevention is just so vital.
it really does. Small changes, proactive ones, they can yield really significant results.
Okay, so let's start there. Unpacking the core reasons. Why are seniors so much more susceptible to falls? You said it's complex.
It really is. It's rarely just one single thing. It's more like an interplay between what's happening inside the body, those
Mm.
physiological changes,
Okay.
and the challenges in their external environment.
So, internally first, what are we talking about?
But from an internal view, it's often about that natural, sometimes gradual decline that comes with aging.
Mm.
And something that's often underestimated is muscle weakness,
Ah,
specifically losing strength in the lower body as we get older. That's a major contributor to instability.
that makes total sense. And it's not just strength, is it? It's balance, too.
Exactly. Our inner ear system, the one that helps us keep our equilibrium, it just naturally becomes a bit less efficient over time.
Right.
So you combine that with having less muscle control, and suddenly even simple things like standing up or walking across a room can feel precarious.
Yeah, I can see that.
And let's not forget vision problems.
Oh, definitely.
Eyesight declining, maybe peripheral vision isn't what it was, or depth perception
Yeah.
that makes it so much harder to spot obstacles on the floor.
Mm.
Turns a simple rug or a cord into a serious tripping hazard.
That's a huge one. But here's something that really stood out to me: medication side effects.
Oh, yes. Critical.
It feels like something easily missed. Certain drugs, maybe even over the counter things like sleep aids.
Or antihistamines, yeah.
Right. They can really affect an older person's reaction time, their coordination, or maybe cause sudden dizziness.
Absolutely. It's a major
It
factor.
just makes you wonder, are we always thinking about how a new prescription might impact someone's mobility, their fall risk?
It's a question everyone should ask, definitely. And it's not just what's happening inside the body. The environment, the place we live, can often be a sort of silent partner in these falls.
Okay, so the external hazards.
Exactly. They're everywhere, potentially. Loose rugs, tangled electrical cords, stairways that aren't well lit.
Yeah, you might even spot some of this stuff in your own home if you look closely. It's not always obvious clutter. Sometimes it's just, like you said, poor lighting. Or not having anti-slip surfaces in places like bathrooms. That seems key.
Very key.
We heard about a case, Mrs. Henderson, who kept tripping on an old rug. And apparently, just taking it down or putting a non-slip pad underneath, that made all the difference.
It often does. It highlights how these seemingly small changes really, really matter.
Yeah.
And another thing often overlooked is footwear. Just wearing shoes that don't fit well or slippers with basically no grip on the bottom.
Right, just shuffling around.
Yeah, that dramatically increases the risk. But what's kind of encouraging is how many of these factors, both the internal ones and the external ones, can actually be addressed mitigate it,
Yeah.
with a bit of awareness and some proactive effort.
Okay, so understanding why is vital, but it's the impact, isn't it? The kind of devastating risks involved that really hammer home why we need to prevent them.
Precisely.
Seniors are just so vulnerable to severe injuries, partly because bones become more fragile with age.
That's right. Osteoporosis is common, so a fall is much more likely to result in a serious break. We're talking hip fractures especially.
Which are notoriously bad.
Very bad. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, these fractures often mean long periods of bed rest,
Hmm.
which then, as we mentioned, opens the door to that cascade of other problems, pneumonia, bed sores.
Right, the complication.
Exactly. And the statistics, they really drive it home. A significant percentage of seniors face that alarmingly high mortality rate, especially in the first year after a fall-related injury.
It's sobering. And even if a fall isn't fatal, the long-term consequences can be, well, life-changing.
Absolutely.
They're talking chronic mobility problems, maybe needing a walker or wheelchair, a huge loss of independence, which is devastating.
And the emotional toll, too. Depression is common.
Yeah, and that fear, the fear of falling again. I read somewhere that it actually makes people less active.
It does. It's a paradox. They're scared of falling, so they move less, which makes their muscles weaker and balance worse.
Creating this dangerous cycle
Huh.
makes them even more likely to fall.
Exactly. Did you know studies show seniors who fear falling are actually about twice as likely to fall again? Wow. That's a powerful psychological loop right there.
It really is. And it pushes us to think, okay, how do we break that cycle?
Right.
Understanding these causes and these potential outcomes, it really empowers us, to take meaningful action.
Exactly. Which brings us to the practical side. What does this all mean for you listening? How can you be proactive, prevent falls in your home, or help your loved ones?
Well, the good news is there are some incredibly effective things you can do, and many are surprisingly affordable. Tools, exercises.
Let's talk tools first.
Mm.
Some absolute must-haves for the home.
Okay, first up, shower grab bars.
Makes sense. Bathrooms are danger zones.
Totally. Slippery surfaces everywhere.
Yeah.
But even a simple suction grab bar, like some of the ones recommended in the sources, they provide crucial support right where it's needed.
And they're easy to put up.
Super easy. Often no drilling needed. They don't leave marks. It's a really minor investment for a major safety boost.
Okay, grab bars. What else?
Anti-slip shower stickers or treads.
And not just for showers. You can put these in kitchens, maybe on balconies if they get wet.
Mm.
Anywhere that might get slick, they just add friction.
And they're not ugly.
Often they're transparent, so they just blend right in.
Yeah.
Really simple.
Good. Okay, next.
Footwear, again. Specifically, non-slip house slippers.
Right, we mentioned bad footwear before.
Yeah, this is foundational. It's not just about comfort. It's finding slippers or house shoes that have actual proper traction on the sole. Sounds basic, but it's a vital layer of protection that often gets missed.
Definitely. Okay, and this next one I thought was really clever. Motion sensor nightlights.
Oh, these are fantastic.
Because how often do seniors get up in the night to use the bathroom, get a drink,
Yeah.
and it's pitch black?
Exactly. Tripping in the dark is so common. So putting these little lights strategically, maybe in hallways, by the bed, kitchen, definitely on stairways,
Yeah.
it just illuminates the path automatically, prevents those dangerous fumbles in the dark. Simple solution, huge impact.
Love that. Okay, so those are some environmental fixes. What about the person themselves? Exercises.
Yes. Moving beyond the home setup, seniors can significantly reduce their risk by doing specific exercises, targeted ones for balance and muscle strength.
And these are accessible, not like needing a gym membership.
Not at all. Often very accessible, very effective. We're talking about balance training like simply standing on one leg for a bit.
Okay. Holding on to something at first, presumably?
Oh, absolutely. Safety first. Or side leg raises, even just practicing walking heel to toe or tiptoeing. These things, done regularly, can dramatically improve stability over time.
And muscle strengthening. You mentioned lower body earlier.
Yes, focus there. Activities like walking, swimming is great if possible, or even simple, low-impact aerobics. Again, if they're physically up to it and they've checked with their doctor.
Right. Always check first.
But here's a really, really critical point. When elderly family members do these exercises, especially at first, it's best if someone is there to assist or at least make sure they're using support like a chair or counter.
To avoid a fall while exercising.
Exactly. The goal is to prevent injury during the practice itself. Safety during the exercise is paramount.
Good point. Okay. Anything else on the practical side?
One more thing.
Yeah.
Slightly different but important, especially if you notice any signs of cognitive impairment, like dementia developing.
Okay.
While it's not directly preventing a fall at home, GPS trackers designed for seniors can be invaluable.
Ah, for if they wander.
Exactly. It adds another really crucial layer of safety.
Mm.
Helps ensure they don't get lost if they go out, maybe for a walk.
Mm.
It just offers, well, peace of mind for everyone.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so wrapping things up a bit.
Yeah, so to bring it all together, we've seen how fall risks really come from this complex mix, right? Internal body changes and those external home hazards.
Mm-hmm.
But the really empowering part, I think, is that proactive prevention works. And it often involves surprisingly simple home tweaks.
Like the grab bars and lights.
Exactly. And those targeted, accessible exercises, they can make a truly monumental difference.
And understanding all these interconnected factors, it genuinely empowers you, the listener, to take steps to protect your older loved ones.
Yeah, enhancing their quality of life, and so importantly, helping them preserve that treasured independence for longer.
It really shifts the focus to being proactive.
It does. And, beyond just the practical steps we've talked about today, this whole deep dive kind of raises a bigger question, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, how can we, maybe as a community or just as individuals caring for family,
Yeah.
how can we shift our whole mindset, move away from just reacting after a fall happens,
Right.
towards proactively building environments and supporting habits
Mm.
that really champion safety and independence for our elders? Making sure their golden years are actually
Mm.
golden,
Mm.
vibrant, safe, and full of dignity.